I appreciate your patience, but we had somebody on the phone from Maine and we had to get through that. So we'll do yours right now. Norman, whenever you're ready. Ready? I'd like to call to order our second hearing for this evening, or our third item of business is a conditional use application for a liquor license transfer from Thanh Long Inc., a Koi restaurant. They are requesting an intermunicipal transfer of a liquor license from a establishment in Upper Chichester Township. And in order to bring that into the township, it requires a conditional use. The restaurant facility that it will be ending up with is at 391 Wilmington Westchester Pike, Suites 5 and 6 in Glen Mills, which is right on Route 202. It's the shopping center with the Koi restaurant. I think it's also where the WSFS Bank is and the Spadis Shake Shop and your place. And I'm trying to think where else I go there to eat. The little Mexican place. Anyway, UPS, the whole thing. Okay, Yui, I'll hand the agenda over to you since it is a hearing.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that we do have proof of advertising for tonight's meeting with respect to this conditional use application, and it was printed in the Daily Times. Is there an attorney here representing the applicant, and if so, would you identify yourself?
Yes, sir. Matthew Goldstein from Goldstein and McHugh for the applicant.
Thank you.
I do.
Is there counsel here representing any person or entity in opposition to this application? Let the record reflect there is none. Is there any person or entity here who is opposing this application? I'll let the record reflect there is none. Do you, sir, counsel, do you have an exhibit package or a group of exhibits? And if so, could you hand them up to the counsel? Maybe hand one to the court reporter.
Of course.
Norma, you got a copy? You have a copy, and you'll just make that part of the record. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Now, counsel, can you kindly provide this counsel with a brief overview with respect to your application?
Of course. So whenever there is a request to transfer a license from one township to another within a county, an intermunicipal request for license transfer is required of the local municipality that's receiving it. In this case, it's in the form of a conditional use application, which was submitted. There is a specific section of the liquor code, specifically section 461B3, that calls for this type of public hearing to give the township the ability to consider information from the applicant in connection with its application. If I may make a brief offer of proof, with me today are the principals of the applicant, Thanh Long, are Chris Kim and Kevin Trong, who will be here to answer any questions. As I believe the council is aware, the Koi restaurant is open and operating and has been so for approximately a year. The restaurant does have in excess of 400 square feet of serving area, and also has in excess of the 30 seats, which is the minimum required by the Pennsylvania Liquor Code. As of this afternoon, just before I came here, I checked on Google, and they are fortunate enough to have 96 reviews with a 4.9 out of 5 rating, so that's very encouraging. And I did speak at length with my clients about the requirement of RAMP, which is Responsible Alcohol Management Program training, which will be required if at such time they become approved by both this council and the Liquor Control Board. In the exhibit package that I submitted, there is the applicant 1 would be the floor plan of the existing space. Applicant 2 would be interior photographs. And applicant 3 would be their current food menu. It would be the applicant's position that the approval of this license transfer would not be detrimental to the health and welfare of the community, and would request the Honorable Council approve the conditional use application. But with that, I also have with me Kevin and Chris to answer any questions you have about the operation or the restaurant in general.
If you don't mind, I'm going to ask some questions, and that may be followed up with questions by council, and that may streamline the process. How does that sound?
Of course, that's great.
All right. So, would you please set forth on the record and inform council what are the hours of operation? What days of the week does this establishment, are they opened, and what are the hours of operation?
With your permission, can we swear in the principals and have them answer?
Absolutely.
Great. Sorry.
T-R-O-U-N-G.
U-O-N-G. T-R.
T-R.
U-O-N, I'm sorry, T-R-U-O-N-G. Trong. Kevin Trong. T-R-U-O.
See, T sounds like B, sounds like G.
Thanks, I'm sorry.
So, gentlemen, how many days a week are you open?
So we're open 7, and then we're operating as a weekday, Monday through Thursday, which is 11 to 9:30 p.m. And Friday, Saturday, we open until 30. Sunday, we operate 11 to 9 p.m.
So in any event, you will not be open at any time past 11 p.m. any day of the week, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you intend to serve alcohol during your operating hours, is that correct? Do you have any, are you expecting to serve alcohol outside the premises?
Not.
That's good. Are you going to have any live entertainment that emanates sound outside of the restaurant?
Not that we plan off right now.
Okay. Council has indicated that you intend to follow the RAMP guidelines, R-A-M-P.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to turn it over to council at this point.
Yui, I think you hit most of them. Will there be any takeout sales of alcohol?
Obviously, right now we don't have a plan for that, but future, if customer like at the wheel, we're not trying to open up like a beer store. We want to operate as a dine-in, and we wanna provide them guests instead of selling the alcohol like a 6-pack. So it's really will depends on. It's a regular customer who comes in every time.
Okay.
They ask for it, then we, but not as of.
So it's almost on an as demand basis. It's
Right.
not something you're starting out where,
Right, that is correct.
I know when you used to go into the Duffers, you could go to get a bag, put a 6-pack in and walk out the store, but that's not what we're going for here,
No.
which is what we want.
Okay.
Okay, so great answer. You had the ramp training and you handled the outdoor dining and the outdoor sales. I have no other questions. John, you have anything?
So just to follow up on Dominic's question, I know that there's now, the Pennsylvania State Legislature has enacted legislation to enable restaurants to serve to-go alcohol, not necessarily from a six-pack perspective, like a package store, but if someone were to order takeout food, could they order one of the takeout cocktails to go with the food?
Sell that because we have a lot of dining area that we want clients to come in and enjoy the restaurant more than selling liquor store. So our main focus is just have a dining.
Okay, thank you. And then I see on the floor plan there are bar seats as well, so there would be the opportunity to sit at the bar to both eat and drink.
That's correct.
So to follow up on John's question regarding the seats at the bar, there shows 6 seats there, which is a little different than the pictures here. So you'll be adding stools in front of the bar and then in front of the sushi section as well. Is that the total anticipated number of seats that you plan on adding?
Yes, so our max occupancy in the restaurant right now is, I believe, 93, 10 at the bar and 83 at the dining area. So we're not going to exceed the maximum occupancy, obviously. So we're going to redesign our platform for make sure we're under the occupancy part.
So the current drawing shows 6 seats in front of the bar and 7 seats in front of the sushi.
So for the bar area, it's going to be around maximum 10, and in front of sushi, it's going to be around 6 to 7 maximum.
And then do you plan on changing your hours of operation after receiving approval for a liquor license, or do you look at maintaining the current hours as noted?
We'll follow the current hour as noted right now. We don't have a plan.
That's all my questions.
Another question from me. In the bar area, you said there's going to be 10 seats or 6?
Around the bar, I said 10 seat because as you look at the floor planning, you see the 4 seat next to the bar seat.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we cannot seat anyone at that corner because it's too narrow. We tested out. So instead, 4 seats, we're gonna add 3 more chairs over there, so it could fit in about 9 to 10 bar seats.
So when you add 3 more chairs, that's not going to overflow into the sushi bar, right?
No.
Okay.
Sushi bar is separate section that we have.
Okay. Thank you.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're taking that 4 top out of that corner and adding those stools to the bar.
Yes.
So it's the same seat, okay.
Yes.
Got you.
Do you currently operate in a BYOB capacity, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you anticipate continuing to offer BYOB at all?
Like we will discuss further because we haven't talked about it yet. But as of now, in my decision, could slowly continue BYOB because we have to value the customer who came in and support us during the pandemic. So we will figure that out. As of now, I cannot really. I will.
I understand, thank you. And have you heard feedback from your customers that they would like bar service at your restaurant? And secondly, do you believe that this bar service will enhance your restaurant overall and the desirability for patrons to come?
Yes, we definitely do because we get a lot of phone calls. We have bars, and then some customers do not want to put their own bottle because bottles. So get a lot of have a bar. So I discussed with Kevin and tried to.
Thank you.
You had a question? John?
Yeah, I have a question. Being very familiar with the site, your front entrance is off of a sidewalk area, and the cars park perpendicular to the curb line. Now, in the rear, there are 2 exits, and that's a alleyway, so you will not be able to park vehicles by those 2 exit doors, correct? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. It's a very narrow driveway.
Okay, I think it cleans up the questions from us, you.
Okay, does anyone from the audience have any questions? Let the record reflect there are none. Does anyone have any testimony with respect that this application, as it stands, poses a threat, or if it was approved, would pose a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the folks of Concord Township? Let the record reflect that there is no testimony in that regard. I'm assuming, sir, you want to move your exhibits and evidence?
Yes, sir.
And with that, I believe we can conclude the hearing, Mr. President.
Okay, I think if my colleagues on council agree, we would render a decision on this at our next business meeting, which would be on Tuesday, September 7th at our 7 p.m. meeting. And that being said, I would ask for a motion to close this hearing.
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I again want to thank you for your patience. We had this call that we had to do at 7 o'clock.